Today we're talking about The Valley of Forbidden Churches, an adventure for the Mork Borg Tabletop role-playing game by Dan Comstock. The Valley of Forbidden Churches is a 32-page tabletop role-playing game adventure. It's printed in full color, and actually it contains 3 different adventures that are kind of connected. You'll start off in this valley that's full of churches that have been forbidden by the Orthodox Cretan order. As you explore the valley, you might get into nasty random encounters. You want to plan delves where you're leaving your safe inn in the morning. You're trying to get as much done as you can, and you really want to be back in the safe place before sunset because the valley gets very dangerous after that. If you're lucky, you will find your way to the Demonworm tunnels. These are underneath the valley. They connect some of the churches. They can actually kind of be like a fast travel system. It's faster to move around the valley using the tunnels than it is walking around on the surface. And but it's dangerous down there. There's good treasure, there's gems and gold, but there is a big demonic worm that will swallow you whole, and you will spend the rest of eternity in eel hell. So you really don't want to run into that thing. And then somewhere in the Demonworm tunnels, there's an entrance to the Lost Silver City. This is a surreal, fantastic place where weird creatures play games with each other. And it's a lot of people would like to loot it. So just to page through the adventure a little bit. In the beginning, we set up, how moving through the valley works, how resting works. As I mentioned, this is kind of an old school style adventure where you're gonna you're managing risk. It's risky to spend time outside the tavern. The fights that you get into are going to be risky and cost you something, but a lot of the things can be solved through creative problem solving. Here's the map of the valley. As you can see, you're going to start off down here at the Holy Runoff Tavern, and every hex takes about a half an hour to cross, double if it has hills. I should mention the aesthetic of the valley is based on this place. Here's a picture of it called Meteora. It's in Greece. It's a valley that's filled with all these monasteries and old temples that are built into cliff sides and atop mesas and stuff like that. So it's like kind of a really neat place to climb around, but it also puts these holy places up in these high, inaccessible spots. So there's also like a dangerous forest in the valley. There's a list of random encounters. Random encounters, as I said, get tougher after dark, so you really need to plan your delves carefully. You need to plan how much stuff you're going to carry, because you need to leave room in your inventory to pick up loot. The spread is dedicated to the Holy Runoff Tavern. It's got some rumors. It's got the hand knife game. That's that game you see where people stab a knife in between each of their fingers, and you try to do it really quickly. There's a fast die rolling mechanic where you put the dice in between your fingers and you're trying to roll combos, but if you screw up, you can stab yourself in the finger. There's also a level up mechanic baked into the game that you can at the tavern, you can say, "Drinks are on me," and buy a party for everybody. And if you do that, you get a little bit better. Your character gets a little bit more survivable. So that's one of the things you're going to use money on during the adventure. There's also a nifty little table here for the GM to generate people in the tavern that have motivations, and maybe we'll give you quests or hooks or information about the valley. So each of the locations in the valley has its own column. Some of them are dangerous, some of them have lots of treasure. A few of them have entrances to the tunnels. When we get down to the tunnels, the features of the tunnels are generated randomly. So each of the locations you can visit in the tunnels, you'll generate 2 features. Some of those features have dangerous interactions. They can be very interesting, and you end up with a very unique adventure where the types of problem solving that you have to do are different every time you run it. And if you find your way to the entrance to the Silver City, you can find your way down into this fantastic place that is decayed, and it's got weird creatures in it that come from Bosch paintings. You might remember Hieronymus Bosch painted all these like weird demons, and they are down there playing these strange glass bead games with each other, and your characters can get involved with that. I like designing adventures in a way that there isn't like a specific plot. There's a lot of different toys and playground equipment that your characters can get involved with, and they kind of choose in the moment what they want to do and what's meaningful to them and what kind of stuff they want to how they want to approach the problems that they're facing. On the back cover of the adventure, there's a nice little why have you come here table that you can give your party or individual characters a motivation that's going to send them, going to start off their quest. And, as with all Mork Borg adventures, the world is ending. In the Mork Borg Tabletop RPG, the world is falling apart, and we are living in the last days of it. And you kind of decide as a group how close the end of all things actually is. What you find in the valley helps explain a little bit of why the world is like this. And it shows a little bit of what the world might have been like before everything went to hell. I've had a lot of fun running it, and I think you should check it out. Thank you.